Thanks for supporting the channel financially, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Our goal is 3,000 likes and 300 comments. Ryu muttered softly, unlucky. Indeed, it was unlucky for the criminal player. Riding in a van marked with a police badge, the members listened to the squad leader's explanation, and Ryu said, 3 minutes ago, we received a report from a convenience store in Seongnae-dong. Since the player-specific emergency bell was pressed, it's highly likely that they are under threat from a player. In other words, it's an emergency situation. The word emergency tensed the members up. It was natural, considering this was their first time heading to a scene after only having conducted DUI checks. Ryu added, criminal players are like ticking time bombs. That's why quick judgment is crucial. Since it's our first day, I'll demonstrate. Just watch how it's done. The members arrived exactly 5 minutes later and followed Ryu as they hurried inside. Or, that was the plan, until Ryu came back out. One inquired, huh? Why are you coming back out? Ryu replied, I've already assessed the situation. Go in and see for yourself. The members entered the convenience store with puzzled faces. At that moment, sighs of dismay escaped the members upon seeing the scene. The store owner, presumed to be the reporter and in his 40s, was already dead, and the clear knife marks on his neck and the blood-drenched counter presented a gruesome scene. One said, damn it, to harm an ordinary person who has no power. Where did this bastard go? The infuriated members looked around, but no sign of anyone was evident in the convenience store. And judging by the opened cash register, it seemed the culprit had extorted money from the owner before killing him and fleeing. Grumbling, the members who stepped outside looked around and approached Ryu, and one said, Commander, we've checked the crime scene. Ryu inquired, all right, have you assessed the situation? He replied, yes. The person presumed to be the owner is dead, and the culprit seems to have disappeared. But how did you assess the situation so quickly? Ryu said. Upon entering, I saw a 40s civilian presumed to be the owner dead at the counter, and there were no signs of life detectable by presence detection. That alone was enough to conclude the culprit had killed and fled. One inquired, shouldn't we look for evidence about the criminal, like checking the CCTV for their appearance? Ryu replied, the culprit isn't just any criminal, they're a player. A walking time bomb that fled in a critical situation. We don't have the luxury to leisurely collect evidence. Another victim could emerge at any moment. There was no denying his words. And another asked, then what do we do now? We don't have any information on the criminal. Ryu replied, we do have information. The situation indicates the culprit fled in haste, probably their first time killing a civilian, not a very clever individual either. He inquired, how can you tell? Ryu said, firstly, there's no cash in the cash register. It indicates money was the motive. Even after achieving their goal, the culprit killed the owner, probably out of fear of being reported. But even after killing to prevent a report, the culprit stupidly forgot to clear traces. Why do that? Probably panicked after killing someone, meaning they're not used to such acts. A rookie. It was likely their first time killing a civilian. The members were astonished by the rapid judgment based on a brief observation. And the more they learned about their squad leader, the more impressive he seemed. Ryu asked, where would a rookie criminal who killed a civilian run to? Then Ryu walked towards the alleyway next to the convenience store, and he said, rather than the open main road, it's likely they fled into such alleyways. They would have wanted to escape into the dark to avoid being seen. One said, so if we follow the alleyways, we might find them? Ryu said. Exactly. This is where area search skills come in handy. Shall we start with that? At that moment, Ryu used one of the common skills, area search. It displayed the surroundings within a 500-meter radius like a mini-map, and a map window appeared in front of Ryu's eyes, visible to others as well. Many red dots, seemingly representing life forms, were visible on the map, and among them, one was uniquely moving. Then Ryu said, look, you can see someone running through the alleys on the map, can't you? One said, yes, really. Ryu added, this individual is likely the criminal, so let's catch them before they get away. They said, yes, understood. The members followed Ryu into the alley, but the distance quickly widened until Ryu's figure disappeared from sight. It was like comparing a car to a bicycle. One inquired, What? How can he be this fast? Another said, we can't catch up at all. And the more I see, the more impressive he is. Since they lost sight of him, they had no choice but to rely on the area search skill. and members with the skill followed the map, chasing Black Scythe. Soon, the members saw Black Scythe and the suspect in a standoff in the alley, but the suspect had a person's neck in his grip, and he said, "Don't come any closer, damn it!" The woman said, "Please, save me. Please," seeing the man holding a dagger to the woman's neck. The members were certain that this was the bastard who killed the store owner and fled. The man shouted, "What are you guys? Why are you following me? Come any closer and I'll slit this bitch's throat." The members hesitated, as a wrong move could lead to a hole in the woman's neck. Then one said, "Hey, listen, sir. Calm down," and the man interrupted his words and shouted, "Sir, my ass! Do I look like a sir to you? Huh?" The criminal, spitting with excitement, seemed to be in a bad mental state, and he looked at Ryu and said, "What's with that guy wearing a mask? Why is he looking at me without saying anything? Are you their friend?" "No, I don't care. Put down your weapons, all of you," the woman said. "Please, save me." The man shouted, "Hey, you, bitch, shut up. Keep nagging and I'll stab you right now." At that moment, the man's head blasted like a rocket, as Ryu's scythe, extended like a whip, precisely cut the criminal's head. Quickly, with no time to react, the woman, terrified at the sight of the corpse, crawled away in horror and said, "Save me." Ryu retrieved his scythe, showing no mercy in killing the criminal. His coldness left the members speechless. Ryu asked the woman, "Are you okay?" She replied, "Yes, yes." Ryu said, "Don't worry, you're safe now." After comforting the trembling woman, Ryu turned to the members and he inquired, "What's wrong?" One said, "We didn't expect you to kill the criminal without attempting to arrest." Ryu said, "According to the player crime law, there are two cases where immediate execution of a criminal player is allowed. One is for criminals who have committed serious crimes like murder, robbery, and rape. The other is when they pose an imminent threat to civilians. He qualified for both. Killing the store owner is circumstantial, but matching the CCTV footage with his clothes would prove it. Even if not, he was already a target for immediate execution the moment he threatened a civilian." Ryu added, "On the scene, quick judgment is crucial. The speed at which you apprehend criminals can prevent further victims. It's the same now. Had I not intervened, there could have been a second victim, right?" The members couldn't argue. As if Ryu hadn't pursued, the woman might have died simply for crossing paths in the alley. Then Ryu said, "It was too dangerous to capture him alive. Immediate execution was necessary. That's why we compare players to time bombs. If you can't shield everyone from a time bomb, it's wise to remove the fuse early." While it wasn't a fuse but the brain that was blown away, the members didn't see the action as too harsh. And having already witnessed a brutal murder scene, they couldn't sympathize with the criminal. One asked, "Squad leader, what about the body? Should we erase the traces?" Ryu replied, "No, we can't destroy evidence. The regular police have been notified and are on their way here. We dealt with the threatening player and only need to report the situation. Leave the rest to the regular police. And now you've seen an example, you roughly know what to do, right? Quick judgment, criminal search, and rescuing people are key. Got it?" They said, "Yes, we understand." Seeing the members' newfound determination, Ryu smiled warmly from behind his mask. Ryu spent several days conducting field training with CPF squad members, and whenever a report came in, they'd turn on the siren and rush to the scene as quickly as possible. And after several days of actual combat, they'd become capable of resolving cases on their own without his intervention. Ryu was relieved as he looked at his squad members and he said to himself, "This should be enough to conclude the training." Then he said to them, "You've worked hard this week. With this, both theoretical and practical training are complete. Now I can leave with confidence." One inquired, "Leave? What do you mean?" Ryu replied, "You think I'd always be here to cover your backs? I'm quite busy myself." In fact, Ryu had informed the Ministry, Infrastructure, and Transport a week ago that he'd be leasing a flight to Nigeria. Currently, he was just waiting for the flight path approval, and he'd even prepared passports under the name Lost Yak. Then Ryu asked, "Would there be problems catching criminal players without me?" No one spoke up. Though they didn't say it, the squad members had grown fond of him over the week. It was true they trusted, followed, and respected him as their squad leader, and the thought of such a leader leaving left them feeling empty and bitter. Ryu said, "Don't be too sad. I'll drop by from time to check on how you're doing." With that, Ryu left some parting words for each member, and he said, "Ko nam choel, You've completely fixed your dialect in just a week. Anyone would think you're a native of Seoul now. Ko Nam-chul smiled and said, "You flatter me, squad leader." Ryu added, "Hwang Man-ki, your recent performance has been impressive. Don't forget I always have high expectations." He said thank you. Then Ryu said, "Kang Si-hyuk, you've always been doing well. Just keep it up, eh? Are your eyes welling up? You're not crying because I'm leaving, are you?" He said. No, of course not." Despite his words, Kang Si-hyuk turned away, dabbing his tears with his palm. Ryu added, "You've all worked hard. Stick to the shifts I've arranged, 3 teams, 2 shifts each. It's tough to do such a job 24/7. Contact me anytime if there's a problem." They said, "Yes, squad leader, thank you for your hard work." Then Ryu turned away with a smile hidden behind his mask.